Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna have to go straight video on this. I did a live drive up from Mentone. I'm up here in Forest Falls. I stopped to talk to Rod and Tom here. Tom is one of the firefighters here, and they're doing really good up here. The roads are all plowed. What do you call it? That gravel they put down. Oh, I need to hold on a second. The medicinal supplies are clanking around. I thought I patted them good enough. But talking to Tom and Rod, this is Forest Falls. They haven't had any roofs collapse, and as you'll see here, they've got the roads plowed and cinders down on the hills. There's water, the snow melting and the springs across the road, so you got to be careful at night when it freezes. I got 46 degrees right now here on my, but they've widened it out to 2 lanes. There's really no shoulder, but all the side streets up here, driveways, Tom was saying, he said they pretty much got it handled up here. Everybody's been checked on, and see they got this cleared over here across from the fire station there on the left. But you can see the big berms. That's the problem up in Arrowhead, Crestline, and Twin Peaks, Rim Forest. The people that can get home, they're blocked in by an 8-foot, basically giant block of ice. It's melted. It's rained a little bit, and it just freezes up. Where even the loaders can't pick it up. It's so heavy and icy. I saw a picture of 2 road graders. I've never seen this before. 2 road graders. I think it was in Arrowhead area. The one road grader couldn't push it, so they went tandem, like when trains do. Tip to tail. 2 of them hooked up, and one was pushing, the other one was driving, and to push the snow out of the way. That's how heavy and deep it is. There's the post office. They got that cleared out, and the church has got their walkway cleared off. A lot of it's just locals helping neighbors, and they're clearing their hydrants and their propane tanks. Yeah, if you can't clear your propane tank, especially around the regulator, that's one thing they wanted cleared. But the fires, from what they're telling me, these gas fires are coming from the pipe being sheared. The ice and snow is falling and shearing these pipes, and it finds an ignition source, the gas, and boom, fire. And it's still so socked in up there, like Arrowhead, Crestline area, Rim Forest, that the firemen can't get close. They're having to take 20-30 minutes to either snowshoe or go up on a snowcat, drag a hose line, and by the time they get there, the house is burned down. It's really tragic. There was 4 yesterday that I heard on the scanner, and it was on Pulse Point. It's terrible news. That these people can't get there, and they can't check every house, and it's just kind of a act of God, a freak of nature that something fell on the gas line. And there's a rumor. I don't really want to give it credence. Supposedly it's on social media, but it's there's been some deaths. They found some people that were elderly, but like I said, it's a rumor, no confirmed source. So I really don't. Supposedly 2 were invalids and the 3rd froze to death, but that's unconfirmed. That's one thing I've been dreading to hear is with people shut in, they can't get out, because some people don't have relatives or friends, that they're kind of by themselves, and they're just now getting around to some of the homes. Yeah, it's terrible news up, and we're going on like day 10, 11, going on a couple weeks, so a lot of people are out of food. There's a school bus. School bus is kind of cool to see it running, kind of getting back to normal. I'm sure the kids enjoy getting back to school. picture. I think my lens was all messed up. Gave her my Forrest Gump wave. I love the school bus drivers and the crossing guards. I always give it, and even the firefighters and the cops and the road guys. I always give them a big wave because they've been working their butts off. And the creek here, that's Mill Creek, the bridge at the lower canyon here. It's got a. I'm gonna let this guy go around me here. It's got a pretty good flow. You can almost jump across it. That's how I kind of gauge the creeks. Can I jump across it? Let these guys go, because Dave Russell's been down here looking for the sheep. I haven't seen him yet. About 4 years ago, he said they came down. The snow drove them down. This was all snow here. The ridge there on the right. I was up here last weekend. Not this weekend, with the last. But so far we haven't found the sheep. The bighorn sheep. They'll come down here, right here on the right. Sometimes they'll get down even into the road and cross the road. This is Valley of the Falls Drive, coming out of Forest Falls. Look on the right, up the hill. There's usually a shoulder down here you can park on. Bring some binoculars and look up to the right. They'll be right at the foothills, or they'll be up 50, 100 yards up. There'll be ewes and rams, the girls and the guys. They come down right here. We had them in the road here last year, 2 years ago, right? I mean, right in the middle of the road. They were walking right by us. And they put signs up here finally, to try and protect them. Because they are protected. The bighorn sheep are. And down here by where this little turnout here where they have a dumpster, we've seen them. They hang around here, right above here. There used to be a cinder pile here. If you hear people talking about the cinder pile, it's got moved across the Valley of the Falls to that county maintenance yard that's right up above here, where when they were logging the logs, the bark beetle logs, they were putting the logs here, and I think they were grinding them up, chipping them up right there. But it's open to residents. They didn't even really look at my media pass when I came up. They say Highway 18. Nobody's even watching that check, so I don't think it's a good idea to let the general public up yet. Because they're not clearing snow at Forest Falls, but they're still doing it up Highway 18, Crestline, Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear. There's a link I posted for San Bernardino County roads. It's an interactive GIS map that shows what's been plowed and when. That's a great resource to check. If you're going to go up, you're a resident, you can see if your road hasn't been plowed. I hear people that are going up, they can't get through the 8-foot wall of berm to get on their street or their driveway. If their street's open, they got about half a day of digging and chiseling to get that driveway open. So it's crazy. Last week there was some. There's always been rock here coming off this hill on the right. There was a little bit of rock up in here. There's some. Is that a bottle? That looked like a bottle. Or was that a piece of ice? I think that was ice. Somebody fell off a car. Be careful coming up here, because they got a new culvert in here. That's new right here. A culvert. They put in a lot more drains, culverts, since the El Dorado fire and it was El Dorado fire. But on my right is a giant burn scar from 2 years ago. I'll let this guy go. I got people that. Jesus Christ. You want to go flying, this ain't the time to do it. Because even when it's not winter conditions, there's rock up here. I saw a lot of vehicles this past year with broken radiators and oil pans tore off, and cars that came flying down this road, this highway, and they hit the rocks. I'd see them down below in the turnouts, and I'd see them up here. They wouldn't even make it down. They'd be in turnouts like that with big oil puddle or big radiator coolant fluid. And you gotta take it easy up here. In fact, this guy, we may see him pulled over in a turnout. But I can't say enough about county roads and Caltrans. They were. I hope they've been able to go home and get some sleep and some home cooking, because they've been up here. God, it was like a week straight. I was hearing like 4 or 6 hours of sleep and back at it. I'm sure their kids and wife or husband miss them. But they've done a hell of a job. They've got this now open to 2 lanes, and the turnouts are open, which helps. I wouldn't stop here because I think that's a rock that David calls Matterhorn. Yeah, I think that's his Matterhorn outcropping there. But a lot of the rocks come down right here off the right. I wouldn't stop here unless you absolutely have to, because this is kind of like Rock Alley. And one of these rocks about the size of a softball is enough to kill you or go through the roof. Yeah, right here, I would not stop here. They've put up K-rails. I think they're still there. There's the snow. Yeah, see the rock right there? They've put up K-rails to kind of catch some of it. If you got anybody up here you want me to check on, let me know. I'll check in up here at Angelus Oaks. Of course, the video won't be uploaded for probably till tonight, but I've got food with me. I got propane, diesel. I've got my tools, my sawzall. I can't tell if that's a rock or snow. That's a problem. You may think it's snow. It could be a white rock. So don't run over those, because you don't know what the hell they are. But I got my sawzall, my skill saw, extension cords. I've got my snow shovel. Whoa. I think that was a rock. Yeah, you don't want to pop a tire either. And tonight this is probably going to freeze. The bad thing about melt off is this will freeze tonight. I got 46. I think it's going down into the high 20s up here. It's warmed up a little. In fact, it's going to warm up for a day or two, and then we got another storm. It's going to hit NoCal and the valley, Central Valley mostly. We're going to catch the bottom end of it, another Pineapple Express. This is going to be a wet one. Warm and wet. Snow level 8,000 feet according to Ben's weather. So the problem then is going to be flooding. You know, all this is going to melt the snow, plus the rain that's fallen. The roofs, it's bad news for the roofs they haven't collapsed yet. It's going to be even more weight. So we have to wait and see. Time will tell. And if you want the best weather source up here is bensweather.com, BENS weather.com. Because it's kind of a unique area for weather. If you're backpacking in the San Gorgonio Wilderness, that's what I would look at. If you got $5 to spare, throw them a donation. They're part of SoCalMountains.com. See right there? I don't know if that's a rock or snow. That looks like snow, but I ain't gonna find out the hard way. I think that first one was a rock. That's the thing, as you get close to Angelus Oaks up here, I see rocks up here just south of the town. I think since the fire, I see more rocks like right in here. You see the town sign, you think, well, I'm almost there. But then it's you still see rocks in here. The hill right above us to the right, that ridge, goes up to Mount San Bernardino. That pretty much all burned. If you remember when I was doing my fire drives, I was out there on, I think it was Spruce, one of the streets to my right, that went out, at the end of the town, when that chief was up there, when that strike team came in. The chief said, yeah, you might want to get out of here. I said, yeah, Chief, I see it. I'm leaving. He said, listen to the chiefs. They got the big picture, and I was worried about access. There was, you get like a one way out. That gets a little scary. I seen somebody with a flasher. I seen an Ups guy earlier. The Ups guys here, they were showing Jose from Ups. He's going up 100 feet. Oh, that's a plow truck. I was going to say, it's got to be a plow truck or a road guy. I saw Jose, pictures of Jose climbing in the snow 100 yards up to a house to throw a package, drop off a package. And that was pretty cool to see. Look at the mounds of snow up here. I think that's the biggest mounds I've seen. I'm going to keep going. I think they're open yet. They're closed Monday, Wednesday. If I hurry up, I can do Jinx Lake and then come back, and I'll stop in and see Teresa and whoever's there and get some local stories. Last time I was up here, they had a hard check, and they let me through with my media pass. And Chris had said, the Caltrans guy said I could go up, but they had avalanches there the day before. Yeah, it was a little spooky. It was deserted except for some people that went around the check. At Sugarloaf wasn't manned, they said. I saw maybe 15, 20 vehicles coming downbound, but they really shouldn't have been in here. Because there was nobody back in there but me and that guy I met on the road that said he was from a cabin that was out of food. We think he got a ride. I turned around to go back to get him, and he was gone. Watching the video, at the time I couldn't play it back. A buddy said that it was a white pickup, a white or gray pickup, that had picked him up. Oh, look, they got the turnouts even clean. Yeah, that's really nice. But up here by Camp Cedar Falls is where they had 2 avalanches. I didn't know it at the time. I was kind of chasing that rumor that there'd been avalanches. And Shane from Search and Rescue said, yeah, he told me where. And I remember it necked down into one lane. He said Caltrans was able to punch a hole through it. But it was one lane, and it was kind of spooky. I remember going through there thinking, man, this is awful narrow, and the berms are awful high here, but that's where the avalanche. I'll show you when we get up here. You can see the snow is melting, and they've got it plowed really good. It's a good road, and I don't see a lot of water across it that'll freeze tonight. But so far, I'm going to go up to Barton Flats and come back, and tomorrow I'm going to go up 18, see what I can get done up there. But this so far is, of course, Onyx Peak is the switchbacks above South Fork, Santa Ana River, and Onyx Peak would be the test. This north side, see how it doesn't get any sun? This can get black ice and freeze. In fact, there's been a lot of TCs in this area. See how right here they didn't get this real wide, so you got to take it easy. Yeah, it's. I think right in here was where one of the slides was. We're coming up to Camp Cedar Falls. Yeah, after they said the avalanche danger was too high, I didn't come up last weekend or last Thursday, Friday, because it was just, everybody was saying it was too dangerous. They said Highway 18 had a high avalanche. I think that's why they kept it closed and they were only doing escorts. You see, look at the amount of snow. Shane said it covered a pretty good chunk of the highway. They've already widened it out, so I can't really tell where. I want to say that was one spot. I think that was where one avalanche was right there. Because Camp Cedar Falls is just up around the corner up here. And I'm going to stop this video here. I'll give it to 22, 23 minutes, and then I'll redo it. Once I get to the past Camp Cedar Falls here. Yeah, I think this may have been the other area. This is where it got real narrow. See how high the berms are? I think this was the other avalanche area right here. You guys look at that. Yeah, this is where it necked down real. It was one lane and about 6 inches of snow on the road. Yeah, see that broke off right there. 6,000 feet we are right here. I got 40 degrees now. Yeah, it's probably freezing tonight. Yeah, I want to get up and down before it gets froze up again. But you're good to hear. I would only come up in the day too. There's so much black ice. I wouldn't try this at night. I try and get off of here. And if there is a TC, because the ice, a lot of times it'll block the road. So if you can, do it during the day. You know, till like 6 p.m. And I would wait till 9, 10 so the sun can hit it. Melt, the temps can warm up. And there's a lot of snow right there. That could have been another avalanche right here. The picture Shane showed me was like a creek where it blew across the snow on the right. The creek it appeared to be on the right, one of these creeks. It probably funneled down in the creek bed. And that link I posted, that it's kind of like the snow experts of SoCal. They explained, we had avalanche training in the military, and they kind of, it was like a good refresher for me. They talk about slabs, how they can spot the slabs and which way they'll break and fall. It's pretty interesting stuff. There's Camp Cedar Falls. It should be up, I think, on this turn. Yeah, Camp Cedar Falls should be up. God, I hope they're not snow playing. Yeah, because the forest is closed. The closed order. Oh, there's the Cedar Falls. Yeah, they got it blocked. They're probably blocking that on purpose so people won't. I don't think there was anybody in there talking. They blocked it to keep people from going down in there. There's a big camp down there below. And I talked to one guy. God, I think his name was Kevin from Camp Laverne on Jinx Lake. He's coming up tomorrow. He said he's been asking me about the road. When I was up here last week, Jinx Lake wasn't plowed. Oh, I wanted to see about Seven Oaks people too. Wow, that's a big turnout there. That excavator is buried back in there. Yeah, I should kill this and start another one, because Camp Cedar Falls, I think, is around this corner. You see, look at the drifts. Oh no, we just passed Camp Cedar Falls. Let me restart this.